All right, so everybody wants to know, what are the characteristics? What are the key things? What's the secret sauce that makes a high-performing team? All I can tell you is that we coach hundreds and hundreds of high-performing teams, and there seems to be a formula. Wait, let me say that differently. There doesn't seem to be a formula. There's an absolute formula for creating a high-performing team. For the next couple of minutes, I'm going to share with you what that formula looks like. And it begins with creating a culture of what we call a culture of productivity. So what's a culture of productivity? Have you ever seen a movie or walked into a room where they have a call center and there's like this buzz going on? There's people in the background talking. They've got signs up over their desks of their favorite sports teams. When they have a sale or they set an appointment, somebody rings a bell or dings a gong, and there's just this fun energy that happens. It gives me goosebumps thinking about walking into that phone room or that culture of productivity, because people are in there and they're just producing. They're doing their jobs, they're loving the game, and they're high-fiving each other all the way to the bank. When I go into most real estate offices, it's like I've walked in to a morgue, and everybody is solemn, and everybody's just waiting, and everybody hopes somebody will call and turn themselves in. So I believe that every office, every team, every family has a culture, and that culture is either accidentally created or it's intentionally created. It was interesting. We recently did a study called The Impact of Teams in Real Estate. In this team study, we had an outside company come in and they researched what team members and team leaders wanted. And what we found is this. We found that 80%, now think about this number, 80% of real estate professionals that were on a team said that they were more productive and earned more money just because they were on a team. Well, why is that? Why do most people, when they get a team, earn more money even though they're on a lower split? It's because of the culture that is intentionally created by their team leader. And it all begins by setting the standard when somebody is hired. We have a document called the 10 Things to Be on My Team that outlines the elements that belong inside of a team. Let's talk about some of those things that belong on the 10 things to be on my team. One of the first things is that we do what we call daily success habits. Everybody has a habits and they use the same habits every day. We get up, we have a cup of coffee or drink some hot chocolate. Maybe we have a workout or swim some laps. Maybe we read a book or listen to an audible or go for a walk. We're all creatures of habits. My question to you is simply this. Is it possible that we could replace some of your current habits with better habits? If the answer is yes to that, then that's the purpose of the Daily Success Habits Tracker. The goal is to get 61 points every single day doing dollar-producing activities. You get points for doing prospecting calls, having conversations, setting appointments, showing homes, getting buyer agreements signed, getting a house under contract, and actually having closings. When you're focused on dollar-productive activities and you give yourself points for it, we realize that it takes 235 to 260 points to get a closed transaction. So one of the first things in creating a culture of productivity is form good habits, as Mandino says, and become their slave. The next thing is, how do you make sure that the team members are doing their daily success habits? I'll tell you that we do it by doing a daily huddle. Now, the daily huddle, it's kind of funny because I have team members that call me all the time and they'll say, now, how often should we do the daily huddle? It's in the name, daily. It's not a weekly huddle or a Monday, Wednesday, Friday huddle. It's not a Tuesday, Thursday huddle. It's like, seriously, it's a daily huddle. So we do a daily huddle. What goes on in the daily huddle is we review the daily success habits from the previous day. We look at what your goals are for today, and we focus on progress, not perfection. If you'll focus on just getting a little bit better than you did yesterday, pretty soon you'll be hitting 61 points regularly, and it'll become a true habit. The next thing we do as part of our culture of productivity in a high-performing team is we practice. We literally practice what to say and how to say it. We practice our scripts and our dialogues every day for a minimum of 30 minutes. Look, there are no new objections in real estate. There's no new problems that we run into. And so what we do is we anticipate the problems, objections, and concerns that a consumer is going to have at any phase of the sales process, and we practice what we're going to say. By practicing what we're going to say, and we practice the tone we're going to use and how we overcome the objection, how we get people moving off the sidelines and get them re-engaged, when the actual circumstance or situation happens, we can listen to understand instead of listening to respond. And that changes the nature of a conversation. So we come in every day for a daily huddle. We review our daily success habits. Next, we practice our scripts and our dialogues. And we have scripts for everything. Like if you're thinking to yourself, what do I say? What's the script for it? We have a script for everything. And then we role play with each other, and then we prospect every day for at least an hour. Look, you know that, and you've heard in previous videos, I talk about the 3 things a real estate agent does: prospect, list or show houses, negotiate contracts. If you're not doing one of those things, if you're not listing and showing houses and you're not negotiating a contract, that means the last thing you should be doing all day, every day is prospecting. But I've learned that as a team, if we'll do our daily huddle, we'll role play, do our scripts and dialogues, and then we get together, we get on the phones together. It creates this energy, the Goosebump phone call, when everybody's making dials and they're talking to people and they're listening to what the consumer's saying and they're creating new opportunities and setting appointments and ringing the bell. When we do that as a team, it creates a culture of productivity. There's nothing better when you're looking to add members to your team to have them come in and do a working interview where they come in and they watch your daily huddle, they look at your daily success habits, they role play with the team and they see how it's done, and they watch you get on the phones and convert opportunities and actually set appointments. You see, when people are looking to decide what team to join, most people are looking for that kind of structure, that kind of accountability, and that kind of care by the team leader. When you care about your team members enough to show up with them, to get involved with them, to do your daily huddles and get on the phones, it not only shows them that you're willing to do the hard thing, but it also sets the example of how to do it right. The last thing is as a team leader, if you really want a culture of productivity, you really want a high-performing team, you can't allow your agents to do any fake work. That means the pretending of being busy without actually doing anything that moves them closer to a sell. By taking the administrative tasks off their desk and letting the administrative assistant do those activities, by making sure they're prospecting and setting appointments, and when they don't have appointments, they're spending more time prospecting. By doing all of those key functions as a team leader, what happens is you set the tone and you set the bar at a high level. By setting the bar at a high level, that creates the performance that you're looking for. Look, here's what I say. If we're going to take the time away from our families and our friends and the things that we care about to go to work, how about you decide right now to just make it worth it? To learn more about our team study, just simply click on the link below. I'll give you a free copy of it. We spend thousands of dollars to find out what team leaders want and what team members need to know about being successful on teams, and I just want to give it to you. So just click the link below, grab the team study, and learn how you can create the more high-performing team. And I promise you, you as a leader have the opportunity to change and set the culture to make it a culture of productivity.